29-year-old mother and a 33-year-old stepfather are behind bars on suspicion of capital murder of an 8-year-old boy who was reportedly strangled to death. On the 5th of November, Ector County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a home in the 2000 block of North Huntington Avenue in Odessa, Texas, regarding an unresponsive child. Odessa Fire Rescue Team members were already on scene when deputies arrived, and they were rendering aid to the little boy. Medics then transported him to the Medical Center Hospital, where he later died. The boy has been identified as Arturo Coco. Officials noted that Arturo had several injuries on his body, including lacerations to his head, legs, back, and was malnourished and small for his age. The child's mother, Megan Lang, told investigators that her son had woken up after having defecated himself during the night. She said she carried him to the bathroom to clean him, and then carried him to the living room where she placed him on the couch. She said she was talking to the boy when his head fell back and he stopped breathing. 6 other children were in the home at the time, as well as Megan's husband and Arturo's stepfather, Rodolfo Reyes. The medical examiner's office determined that Arturo died from asphyxiation by manual strangulation. Neglect was also listed as an underlying cause. Arturo reportedly only weighed 35 pounds at the time of his death. The normal weight for a boy around his age is 57 pounds. Megan and Rodolfo were arrested on the 21st of November and have been charged with capital murder and injury to a child. They're held at the Ector County Jail, and the bonds have been set at $3 million each. A Texas woman was recently arrested after investigators say she allegedly abused a 5-year-old son. According to an affidavit, on the 11th of November, officers with the Odessa Police Department responded to the Gonzales Elementary School after a staff member reported that a student arrived at school with suspicious injuries. Officers then spoke with the staff member, who said the child arrived at school that day and complained to the school nurse about pain associated with bruises to his buttocks, elbow and head. During an interview, the child said he had been spanked by his mother, identified as 23-year-old Jessica Munoz, the day before. The boy said she used a rectangular board and hit him on his bottom, his arm and his ear. Officers then spoke with the boy's father. He said he had been working on the night in question and that he received a text from Jessica that evening stating that their son had been bitten by a bug on his ear or he had a reaction to his shirt. She followed up with a text stating that he should not accuse her of hitting their son. Investigators said that the child was injured in areas that were not considered to be reasonable locations for discipline and that the injuries were consistent with physical abuse. On the 18th of November, Jessica was arrested and charged with injury to a child, a 3rd-degree felony. She was held at the Ector County Jail, but was released the following day on a $15,000 bond. If convicted, she faces between 2 to 10 years in prison. Chelsea Crompton has been charged with murder and the death of 4-year-old Hazel Liddy. The Catawba County Sheriff's Office says that deputies were called to a home at 4157 Hillhaven Drive in Vail, North Carolina at 2:12 p.m. on the 17th of November. Upon arrival, they found Hazel unresponsive. The search warrant in the case states that the initial call was for an overdose. However, medics discovered bruising on the child when they arrived. The child was reported by medics to have suffered trauma-related injuries due to the presence of bruising all over her body. On that day, Hazel was airlifted to hospital in Charlotte, where she remained until her passing on the morning of the 20th of November. Hazel's father and his girlfriend Chelsea were reportedly present at the residence at the time, and the authorities suspected foul play. Deputies claim they were pursuing the investigation round the clock and awaited a medical examiner's report since Hazel's death. The warrant claims that during the investigation, deputies cut a portion of the wall inside the residence where the 911 call originated. On the 25th of November, Chelsea was arrested without incident at the residence of a family member in Madison County and is presently held at the Catawba County Detention Facility. She's held without bond, and her first appearance is on Monday the 28th of November in Newton at the Catawba County District Court. Catawba County Sheriff Donald Brown said, "Our communities have been shocked by the senseless violence that caused Hazel's death. We mourn with the Liddy family as they grieve the loss of their child. Justice for Hazel," he said.